If you have been considering moving to Miami and renting an apartment here, you want to understand and have knowledge in the rental process. Here in Miami, we do things completely different than other parts of the country, so it's really important for you to understand and for you to know how to go about the process, how it works, how much it costs, what the fees are, so you have more knowledge and you understand, and when it comes time for you to actually start looking for a place, you actually know the whole process and there's no headaches or no confusions. So anyway, let's not waste any more time and let's get started with the video right now. What's going on, everyone? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Hans Weisfeld, real estate agent down here in Miami. Today we're gonna be talking about the rental process in Miami. The reason I decided to make this video is because I get a lot of out-of-state clients and people from out of the country that want to move to Miami and they want to rent. So I decided to make this video so you guys can understand the whole process, and it makes it a lot smoother for you when it actually comes time to look, right? A lot of people, a lot of my clients get surprised when I tell them the process, or they get confused, or whatever the case is. So anyway, we're gonna talk about the whole rental process, how much it costs, the fees, all kinds of things for you to understand the whole process smoothly. So anyway, let's get started with the video right now. The first thing that you need to know is that renting an apartment down here in Miami is totally different than most parts of the country. The reason is because most parts of the country, they have a rental apartments or building offices or leasing offices, right? That you could probably just walk into. They probably run your credit. Based on your credit is how much you're gonna put for deposit, and whatever they have available, you can choose and rent, and it's easy and you can move in within a few days. Down here in Miami, about, I would say 90% of properties are actually individually owned. So there's a two-part step process. Let's just say you first need to get approved by the actual owner of the condominium, apartment, house, whatever it is, and then you need to get approved by the condo association, who are the administrative association, let's just say, that actually run the building and manage the building, right? So it's a two-step process, so just keep that in mind. So from the beginning, it's already different than most places. We do have apartment buildings down here if that's what you're looking for. I would say only 10%. There's very few. They are up and coming. There's a lot more being built every time, especially in the Brickell, downtown, Edgewater, Midtown area, those new areas. There's a lot more apartment buildings, but again, probably only 10%. Very few of them. So it's very important for you to know. If you want to go that route, no problem. You can have an agent help you and show you which apartment buildings are meet your criteria. You can call them. You can go over there, make an appointment. They can show you what's available. You apply. The moving quick is easy, and the moving funds, the moving deposit, let's just say, it's based on your credit. It's also very simple. But again, it's only 10%. So we're gonna talk about the other 90% for you to understand, because most likely, if you're not gonna be going into an apartment building which are newer, those condos are a lot newer, maybe you're in a budget, or maybe you just want something different that they don't offer, then you're gonna end up renting an apartment that's individually owned. So you gotta pass the landlord's requirements and also pass the condo association's requirements. All right, so let's get started with that part right now. Okay, so if you're gonna be renting a condo, the number one step that you should do is hire a real estate agent. Just speak to a real estate agent that you're comfortable with, either myself or someone on my team or any of the 55,000 real estate agents that are out there in Miami. Just choose one that you're comfortable with, let them know your criteria. They will send you a list based on your criteria, and then you can start from there, go see properties and move on. You will hear the whole process in this video, right? That's pretty much the number one step. Now, keep in mind, if it is a house, if it is a home, there's no condo association most likely. It's just gonna be the owner. You get approved by the owner, you move in. Usually the moving is easy and it's quick. There's no one else involved, okay? So in this video, I'm gonna be talking mostly about condos and apartments, all right? So anyway, the first step, again, find an agent. They'll send you a list. You go check out whatever you like. And then once you like the property, you're gonna send an offer. So here comes the important part. What's in the offer? What requirements do you need? What do you need to send the landlord for them to be able to approve you? All right. So the requirements are: number one, proof of income. So you need to show pay stubs, paychecks, bank statements, employment letter, tax returns. One of those, like cash does not work, or maybe you make 100 grand a year, but you have no way of showing it. That doesn't work either. Like, you need to actually show proof. I see all kinds of different situations and proof of income, especially down here in Miami. Again, a lot of them don't really work. You need to show actual proof. All right, easy. The next thing is going to be credit. They're going to run your credit report. Some landlords care about credit, some landlords do not care about credit. Some understand that, you know, there's difficult times and you might have a great job, great income, but you might not be very responsible, or you might have had issues in your past. Whatever the situation is regarding credit, not every single landlord worries too much about credit, let's just say. All right, so if you have bad credit, or if you don't have good credit, don't be afraid, don't be worried that, oh no one's gonna accept me. Don't worry. That's why. Choose an agent, speak to the agent. Maybe if you have great income and you have great rental history and you've been at your job for many years, then you know that's already enough to show a landlord that you're gonna be responsible, you're gonna be paying for the rent. Okay, so the next thing after proof of income, credit, the next thing is gonna be background check. So of course, like anywhere else, make sure you have a clean background, especially no evictions. If you have an eviction, that's a big red flag. That's pretty much it on the background. And then lastly, not every single landlord looks at this, but many landlords will want to know previous rental history. They might even call the previous landlord. They want to make sure that you've been paying on time and you've been paying rent and there's no issues. All right, so pretty much those are like the requirements. Like anywhere else, they're pretty much easy. Just make sure, especially the proof of income, I think is the most important. Just make sure you actually have proof of that. All right, if you just started a job, the employment history, the employment letter will work, right? Or a phone call to the landlord, to the employer. Sometimes that works, but just make sure you have something. So once you already chose an apartment that you like, you know the requirements, the next thing is gonna be sending an offer to the landlord, right? Your real estate agent is gonna help you prepare an offer with all the requirements that I just mentioned, and they're gonna send that offer over to the landlord. They just say the landlord accepts. The next thing after that, the landlord or the landlord's agent, they will write up the lease. The standard lease down here in Florida is a 19-page lease. So if it's something different, just make sure it looks good, right? Just be careful. I've seen a lot of like sketchy, weird contracts. The standard is a 19-page Florida approved by the Bar Association, all right? So check that out. So anyway, so you have the lease. Once the lease is signed by the landlord and the tenant, so yourself, then you as a tenant, you need to put down the first month's security deposit, all right? It's called, you know, like an escrow deposit, let's just say. So the first month. So if the rent is $2,000 a month, you need to put down the $2,000, and that goes to an escrow company or escrow account. All right. After that, after you do all that, the next step is going to be in your end, and that's going to be applying for the condo association. Again, you're already approved by the landlord. The landlord approved you. Now you have a lease, and now you need to go and apply for the condo association. Please keep in mind, very important, most condo associations take about 2 to 3 weeks. The most common is 2 weeks. So a lot of people call me, Hans, I need to move in on Monday. I need to move in 3 days or 5 days in a week. I'm like, look, I'm sorry, but most likely that is not gonna happen unless you find either like a landlord that's renting on themselves, by themselves, which I don't always recommend, because that means you have no help on your end. They have no professional help, right? Just the landlord. So anyway, but that's one of the ways. Or a rental building. Like, there's no other way. Most places down here that you're gonna be renting, I would say 90% are gonna have a condo association, right? Even if it's a small little apartment or if it's a huge luxury building, they all have condo associations. You need to apply to all of them, and they all have very similar requirements. Now, another important thing for you to understand, each condo association has a different application. They're all gonna want your IDs, they're all gonna want the signed lease, they're all gonna want probably $100 application fee, but the rest of requirements that they want, it's totally different. For example, some places may ask for reference letters, like you actually need to get friends or relatives or whatever it is, or ex-colleagues or banks to actually write a letter, like a reference letter for you. Some condominiums want to see your proof of income. I've seen that many times. Some of them want a police report. Even though they do a background check, they still want a police report, which is a pain in the butt because then you have to, that one is a whole pain in the butt. I've gone through that one a few times. So you have to go to like a police station, get a police report, it's a pain in the butt. So again, each condominium has different requirements, but pretty much for you to understand and have knowledge about is that, hey, you're gonna apply for the condo, and until that moment that you apply and you get that condo application, you're not gonna know really the requirements. Your agent is not gonna know what they require. And sometimes the landlord's agent, right, or the landlord, sometimes they haven't looked at that condo application in years, or they probably never looked at it, so they probably don't even know what they're asking for. So it's very, very important for you to know that these things could come up. And sometimes they ask for a little bit more things than others. All right, so now you know that you choose an agent, send you properties, go look at properties, you choose a property, you send an offer, you have a signed lease, you put the escrow money, you apply for the condo association, you wait 2 weeks, and then you finally approve, which by then it'll be pretty much almost your move-in date. So in your move-in date, you're gonna meet the agent, you're gonna bring the remainder of the funds, which I'm gonna talk about right now, and you're pretty much gonna do a little walkthrough around the apartment, make sure everything's looking good. You're gonna give them the money, they're gonna give you the keys. That's it, you moved in, very simple. Now you got it, you understand the whole process. Now let me talk to you real quick about the funds, or about the fees, or about how much it actually costs to move in. All right, so this right here is very important, especially for people coming out of state and out of the country. So down here in Miami, the most common move-in funds is gonna be 3 months. So you're gonna have your first month, your last month, and 1 month security deposit. So again, if the rent is $2,000 a month, you're gonna need $6,000 to move in. Now, if the rent is $3,000 a month, you're gonna need $9,000 to move in, okay? So you just need to keep these numbers in mind. And this is gonna be probably 90% of the properties that are for rent. Very, very few landlords accept only 2 months, first and security, all right? So just keep that in mind, be prepared with those funds. Now real quick, something very, very important to keep in mind. Going back to the condo application, some of them have different fees and different requirements as with funds and moving funds. For example, all the high-end luxury buildings, they're gonna want a 1 month security deposit for the condominium. They're gonna want elevator fees. Sometimes it's $500, sometimes it's $1,000 moving elevator fee that they give it back to you once you finish moving in case you break something or damage something while you're moving in. Some of them have, parking decal, $50, clicker for the garage, $50. They have all these types of different fees, so just be aware. Now you may be asking, Hans, so if I need 3 months to move in and then the condominium asks for another month, and if I'm paying $3,000, that means I need $12,000 to move in? Yes, that is correct. Now, sometimes, I guess in my case, most of the time I was able to negotiate with the landlord and the landlord's agent to remove the last month, right, of the moving funds, and my clients will pay the security deposit for the condo association. So it'll be first month security deposit and 1 month for the condo association, if that is the case. Most of the time they say yeah, very few times they've said no to that, because again, it's a lot of money, right? Nobody wants to spend 10 grand, 12 grand moving in. So anyway, but it's important for you to know those fees. And then the elevator fees, the pet fees. Again, pet fees, sometimes it's $250, sometimes it's $500. Sometimes you need to pay the landlord pet fees. Sometimes you need to pay the condo association a pet fee. So there's a lot of fees that end up appearing. But again, you're not gonna know until you actually get that condo application. All right, so it's very, very important. Another question that my clients have, okay, Hans, fine, my rent is $3,000 a month, $2,000 a month. What other fees, what other things do I have to pay on top of those $2,000 a month? It's a question I get asked all the time. So pretty much on top of the rent, whatever your rent is, on top of that, there should not be anything else other than your electricity and internet. Some condos include internet, most do not, some do, but you're gonna be paying just the rent and of course your regular electricity and internet. Water is included, the parking should be included if it's a condo association, if it's individually owned, okay? Most condos do have an option for a second parking spot, $100, $150 a month, whatever it is. But that's pretty much it. Everything else should be included. Like amenities should be included, the parking should be included, the water should be included, all the maintenance fees, all that the landlord pays. So pretty much, again, apart from your rental amount per month, you should only have to pay for electricity and internet. no other fees should be charged to you, unless of course it is an apartment building or a rental building like those leasing offices. They do charge the rent, and they charge the amenity fees, they charge garbage, they charge trash, internet, light, they charge all these kinds of fees. All right, so just be aware for that if that is what you're looking for as well. Alright guys, now you know the whole moving process. If you are looking to move into Miami, please feel free to reach out to me and my team. We'll be more than happy to help you out and get you settled down here in Miami and explain to you the whole process again, or send you a list based on your criteria. Again, I was raised here, I lived in most of the neighborhoods here in Miami, so I kind of know the good and the bad and the ugly of each neighborhood, and based on what you're looking for, I can definitely help you and guide you and help you choose the best option available. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe, give it a like, comment your thoughts or any questions you may have, and I see you guys in the next video.